Hello everyone, welcome to Storytime with me, your host Loki. Today I'm going to talk about, don't know why I went for that intro, I just found a random Storytime image on Google search for a background. I'm going to talk to you about my weekend in Nottingham with Curly and the National Video Game Arcade and the event there, the Football Manager Creator Day and all that sort of stuff. And also what was going on in my mind, because it's kind of like a behind the scenes look at what went on. So, as you know, we just had the big sort of Football Creator Day at the NVAs, and it was brilliant. So, obviously, we live in Northern Ireland, so it's in Nottingham. It's quite a ball ache. We got up at 4 a.m. on a Friday. We flew across in the morning, because we could get a bit of a later flight, but it was like 300 quid difference. So, we took an early flight. We got there, ended up at our hotel. It's about an hour and a half drive to the airport, hour flight, half an hour there. So, all in all, we got to the hotel at about 11 o'clock. It was right opposite the NBAs, which is nice. So we sort of then went there. I decided not to vlog it because I just wanted... The Saturday was going to be the football stuff day. And then I thought, well, the Friday and the Sunday morning, we can just, have a nice weekend with the missus. So we just explored Nottingham and walked around a bit, and that was a lovely day. As the day went on, I was slowly... The shitting myself level was slowly rising. Because... I've been doing this YouTube thing for about a year and 10 months, and I think I'm quite good at it, and I've got to know lots of people in the chat, and lots of people in the comments, and Twitter, and other YouTube creators and stuff like this. I've never actually met one, or I've never actually met someone that would call themselves a fan of, I still hate saying fan, a fan of mine, or Lelujo's. What I will do is, if you want to watch the Q&A that we did and the other vlogs, Kev's done some brilliant stuff, so I'll link those in the description so you can go check it out. But so Saturday morning arrived, and it started at 10, so I woke up about 8 a.m. and a little bit nervous. It was a bit weird. I'm okay with people, but the build up to it, I'm shitting myself. But if I force myself into a situation, I'm okay usually, but it was just like the forcing myself. So Saturday morning came, and we rolled out our hotel room, and there was already about sort of 7 or 8 guys there. So I sort of just walked up, and a few people recognised me. It was weird getting looks from people, like I'm introducing myself to somebody, and I can see somebody just sort of looking at me, which was just weird. But everybody was so amazingly friendly. A bunch of YouTubers and a bunch of just sort of people that enjoy I'm still not saying fans, enjoy our content and stuff like that. So we stood outside for about sort of 15 minutes, and then the doors opened up, and then we went into the NBAs, and we had a Q&A at 12. But beforehand, we all sort of went out and checked out the Football Manager exhibit. It was all right, the Football Manager. It wasn't fantastic. There was a couple of little interesting things, like this sort of breakdown of the 3D match engine and how players make decisions. I thought was quite interesting, and all the calculations that go into this sort of decision making. And I was sort of getting relaxed. I was trying to force myself to sort of mingle and try and talk to everybody as possible, because I'm trying to put myself in other person's position. Like, if you've been watching me for a year, it might be a little bit nervous approaching, especially because I'm with my girlfriend or with other group of people and stuff, to just sort of butt in and say hello. So I really tried to make sure I was trying to get round to everybody and sort of say hello and, get to know them a bit and stuff like that. And then, so 12 o'clock came around and we had the Q&A. So Kev had already sort of set it up in their main sort of auditorium place. And I think there was about 40 people in there, which is more than I could have hoped for. Like, give you a clue, the week before, when the Sports Interactive people turn up, Miles and that lot, they only had about 10, 20. So already twice as popular. But it was... I sort of went up to... Everybody's already sitting. I was there quite late, so everybody's sitting down, and I sort of walked up to the front with Lelujo, and I was like, all right, Kevin. And I'm standing at... It felt like I was standing at the front of the class, and I was like... I sort of whispered to him, this is weird. And he's like, yeah, this is weird. But actually, me and Kev got on really well, and we kind of gelled, and we bounced off each other. And I think the Q&A went really well. I was happy with my performance. The reason I didn't wear a beanie, because people are, oh my God, Loki without a beanie, is because I thought I was going to be so nervous that I'd be sweating, and I didn't want to wear a big beanie hat indoors, because that's just going to make me, it would be pouring out. And actually I didn't. It was perfectly fine. It felt so relaxed, because, like I've always said to you guys that watch my stuff, I'm trying to make it as if I'm just hanging out with my mates. And like really relaxed and try and keep all the edits away and just have fun with my mates. So, and that actually worked to my benefit, because once I started talking to all the guys that I see regularly in the comments, we were just talking like we'd spoken together, like we'd known each other for years. So that was really, really useful. The Q&A was great, lots of random questions, a few Football Manager stuff and bits and bobs and stuff. But that went for about, it's supposed to go for an hour, but it went for about an hour and a half. And then in the NVA itself, they've got like an outside area, and basically most of us sort of piled outside and we played giant Jenga, just chatting and getting to sort of know people really. And it was great meeting some of the other content creators that I've sort of spoken to over the last few months. It was absolutely amazing. Even Curly, who's sort of very similar to me, was like, oh, I'm not really a people. She says she's not a people person, but she can chat away with the best of them. She's got, oh no, I go shy. I'm like, you don't. And she didn't. And, you know, she was just probably more nervous than me about the whole day, and that kind of helped calm me down, because I was like, chill out, love, chill out. I'm the one that's going to be on stage here. But she was brilliant, and she absolutely loved it. So, also, the NVA itself is well worth a visit, because the biggest thing for me, although I was probably a little bit disappointed by the Football Manager exhibit, which is not on their part, it's what Sports Interactive sent them to put in their exhibit, but the rest of the NBA was superb. I was amazed at how many of the games were actually playable. I expected lots of, lots of sort of playable stuff, but I expected lots of the old sort of Commodores and the Mega Drives and the Master Systems and the old NES machines and Spectrums to be like, in glass cases or just to look at and stuff. But so many of them you could just go and play Sonic on the Mega Drive and all this sort of stuff on the old consoles. Lots of old arcade machines. So that was fantastic. And they also had like modern stuff, like they had it was the Vive VR headset and stuff like that. So we just hang around there for the entire day, didn't get bored for a moment. We were there for like 7 hours, and then at 5 o'clock we went for a big barbecue meal, and amazingly again, 22 people came along for the barbecue meal, so that was great at the local restaurant, which was only another minute's walk away. Food itself, nah. I do like barbecue. I like me ribs and stuff. It was okay. It wasn't anything special, but the company was great. Me and the missus sat next to Kev's kid and Bad Jokes FM and his missus, and they were really lovely, and we got to know them a bit and stuff, and there was a lot of banter going back and forth. It was a really good fun time. And then Kev had to go because they had to pick up Andy, so Kev and Anna and the kids left after the meal, and then most people sort of started heading, because this is what got me the most. People had travelled so far, like 8 hours on a bus or 4 hours on a train or something like that. I didn't feel too bad because I'd flown to get there and stuff, so an hour and a half drive and then a flight. But if I'd lived 2 minutes away from Nottingham, I think I would have felt really bad that people had travelled so far. So that was on my mind all day, to make sure it was worth it for people, make sure I tried to get around as many people and chat to as many people as possible, talked a lot about YouTube with people and everything. So after the meal, most people sort of left, and then there was about 6 of us left, so we all went to the pub. Bearing in mind, I've not probably had an alcoholic drink in about 2 years. I'm not a drinker. We went to the local pub with, I'm going to forget people here, lots of creators like Big Herb, Rich on Twitch, Dave As a Party, Curti FM, and it was just really nice, and we just hang out for a couple of hours, had a drink, didn't go mad. I'm old. I know how bad hangovers are for us oldies. It's just not worth the fun at that point. But we hang out there for the evening, and it was really, really good laugh, and it was like sort of some, not school reunion, but like a reunion of mates that maybe you had at uni or something like that, because I felt like, although I was literally chatting to these people for the first time in real life, I've been talking to them for so long that it was just so natural and such a laugh. Curly had a great time as well. And then, so we went to bed because, we're crazy people. I got home for about 10 because I watched Match of the Day, as you do, in the hotel. And then we got up early on the Sunday morning. Our flight wasn't back until we got home at midnight, or about almost 1 a.m. Monday morning. But because our flight wasn't until sort of 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. So again, we had a nice time in Nottingham. We went to Forbidden Planet. Curly bought a t-shirt, and I bought this little dude. Because, why not? Which they stopped me at the airport because apparently on the scanner it flashed up. a blob of plastic apparently flashes up. And Forbidden Planet was great. And then I saw that Games Workshop, or it's called Warhammer now, but Games Workshop was across the road. And I used to, if you don't know, I collected and played Games Workshop games from the ages of 11 till about 25. I've honestly spent at least 15 grand on figures, because they're really expensive. 15 grand on figures. I was obsessed. The last few years I haven't bothered. It's just too expensive. So I haven't collected now for sort of 10 years or so. But I always keep an eye on it, and I'll occasionally buy the White Dwarf magazine. So we popped in because I wanted to sort of show Curly around and show some of the new stuff. I don't like it when I go into any shop, and I don't mind it if the assistant sort of comes to you and says, "Oh, do you need help with anything?" And you say, "No, thanks, I'm just browsing." And they're like, "Okay, right, that's my limit, right? Ideally, just leave me the fuck alone. I'll come to you if I need help." But I don't mind one question. And I've always found this with Games Workshop. They're so pushy. They're so irritating. So she came to me and said, "Oh, you know, you're looking for anything in particular?" And I'm there with my girlfriend, so I'm talking, showing her stuff, and I was like, "Oh no, I mean, just browsing, just sort of reminiscing." I'm sort of, and then she was, and I sort of turned back to Curly, and we're just sort of chatting and stuff, and this girl, she was nice enough, but and she was like, "Oh, so what armies are you collecting at the moment?" And I'm like, I'm not really collecting. I'm sort of, I said, semi-retired, just sort of, looking about, interested. And I was like, okay, good. Right, that's how I get ready. Walk around a bit with Curly, sort of trying to leave the area, show her something else. And then the woman's like, bing, here she is again. "Well, if you thought about going after this, I see you're into the Warhammer Age of Sigmar stuff. So have you thought about..." And I was like, "No, I'm just honestly just sort of browsing." And she's like, "Well, you could buy this fucking giant box of shit that probably costs 200 quid. And I'm like, "No, because I'm on holiday. I have no luggage." Basically saying, I can't buy anything because I can't take anything with me. Thinking that might be enough. But no, minute later, "Oh, yeah, so what we've got now is these board games, and it allows you to get into the figures, and then you can collect the armies." I'm like, Jesus Christ. So that sort of stuff just drives me insane in any shop. But Games Workshop's really bad for it, and it's because they're pushed. It's not like the staff are doing that because they want to. They've always been really pushy and stuff like that, and I hate it. I really hate it. So in the end, I actually might have bought something because I thought, I might paint something. I'll see if I can still paint. But because it was so pushy, we just grabbed a White Dwarf magazine. I was like, yeah, see you later. And then we just visited the Kitty Cafe, where there's just big cafe and they've got lots of cats and stuff because we like animals. And then we headed home, and it was just a really fun weekend. And I just want to say to everyone that came along, or even just people that have watched the vlogs on Kev's channel, or even just helped, because there's a bunch of people that said, "Oh, I can't come," but they've been retweeting all the videos and stuff, trying to drum up interest for it and stuff. So I just want to say massive thank you, especially to those people that made the effort to come along. I hope you really got something out of it. It's something I'd love to do again. As soon as I finished the Q&A, I was like, I could have just done that for another couple of hours. You know what I'm like, as proof by this video, that I can just waffle on for hours. So I could have just gone forever, basically. But we definitely need to do something. And this, I defend the Football Manager community a lot when people say, "Oh, so it's not a very nice community." And it's like, it's the internet, so there's always going to be idiots. It's the world. There's always going to be a small percentage of idiots in the world. So every community has a small percentage of idiots. But the FM community as a whole is just absolutely amazing. Look at all those people that made the effort. I think about 50 people in the end turned up over the course of the day. People drove 2 hours just to pop in, say hello to me, shake my hand, and then said, "Well, I better get going." Like, absolutely madness. It's the best thing that's happened on YouTube for me. It's by far, like, making the videos and growing the subscribers and getting to the stage where this is almost a career is amazing and stuff like that. But when you see the payoff of the amount of hours that I put in, getting to meet people, them telling you their stories of how they found your channel, how it's helped them through a rough time, is just the best thing ever. And Curly wanted to say massive thank you as well, because lots of people made the effort to talk to her, which is brilliant. To include her in everything, because obviously she's not massively into the Football Manager, or massively into the gaming so much as anymore. But everybody tried to make her feel welcome, and she got chatting all day. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for everybody that came, for everybody that watched the vids, for everybody that, you know, advertised the event for us. I'm hoping we can do something again, you know, make it bigger every year, make it more of an event every year, maybe hold our own thing or something like that would be absolutely amazing. So like I said, what I'll do is I'll leave the Lelujo's vlog and the Q&A video in the description below, so you guys can check it out. It's well worth a watch. It's pretty funny, if I do say so myself. But I hope that those people that couldn't make it will be available for the next one. I think I should just make the next one in Northern Ireland in my back garden, so I don't have to travel anywhere. That'd be lovely. I'll just get a tent for you all to stay in. Yeah, that'll do. Thank you very much for watching this, guys. Hope you enjoyed my little story time with me, Loki, your host. It was brilliant. Thank you again. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. I scheduled a bunch of videos to release while I was away, right? So I had no control over them, so I just scheduled them. One thing I noticed that a lot of people were saying was my last Football Manager video for the Flip League save didn't hit the subscription box for a lot of people. I had 4 or 5 tweets saying, I just found your video on your channel, but it's not in the subscriptions thing because YouTube's shit. Nothing to do with me. That's just YouTube being shit. So what you can do, if you want to make sure you don't miss the videos, is go into the little bell icon thingy, majiggy thing. I should probably... I'll put a picture up here of what it looks like, so you don't miss out in case... If YouTube's having another brain fart, then that's a way around it, so you'll get notified when I publish a video. So I just wanted to let you know that. Right, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.